On May 17th of this year, 3,000 students in Philadelphia rallied in front of the school district building after having walked out of 27 schools. No ifs, no buts, we don't want no budget cuts. Third grade student at Marcus Garvey Elementary on the south side of Chicago, Ashawn Johnson, spoke to thousands rallying against the proposed closure of 54 public schools in Chicago and called out the mayor, who thinks he can just come into our schools and move all our kids all over gang lines and say, oh, we can build a building right here. Let's just take this school out. We don't care about these kids. And we must note that 90% of those students in Chicago are Black, and 80% in Philly, and almost all of them low income. Ashawn's school did survive the cuts, and when this 9-year-old's activism was given credit for that, he said on television, "It wasn't just me, it was a team effort, and all the teachers came out with their students. It was pretty cool, and we all fought for our school to stay open." How do you teach this kind of leadership? Not the kind where individual students pad their resumes and move on, but the kind where we are team players, collaborators, listening to each other, supporting each other, and most importantly, sharing in struggle, because we know that none of us are free until all of us are free, to quote Martin Luther King Jr. and Fannie Lou Hamer. All of our struggles are connected. Well, Antioch does teach that kind of leadership. Antioch prepared me to entwine my passions with the foundations of democratic education, to see that I can live a life committed to social justice in education and not fit into a neat box, to collaborate with other educational leaders in and out of the classroom and push ourselves to become better critical educators, more aware, more rooted in our convictions, and more connected to the long history of struggle that has allowed us all to be here. Antioch helped me to anchor myself in the world of education when I had thought that my best shot at a career was just to float near it. I didn't work towards a teaching credential because food justice doesn't quite fit into a single subject, but mostly because I don't have the stamina and unbelievable dedication that you, who have been teaching in the classroom and who are about to dedicate yourselves to this noble and exhausting venture, have. I personally came to education through student organizing, immigrant rights and anti-war rallies, bicycle co-ops, and community gardens. After college, I taught my first after-school garden program in Springfield, Massachusetts. And when I saw urban food systems growing out of small hands in parking lots and school courtyards, I knew my place was in education. Antioch does not see these movements as separate. Organizing is part of a democratic education. Without leadership and an ethos of collectivity, we can't progress. It's our responsibility now, as Antioch graduates, to continue to push ourselves to greatness, to be humble, and to share our commitment to education with those that we love, including our students. Thank you, Antioch, for the opportunity to reflect on my growth and change, and to pair reflection with action, as Freire says. Each and every one of us here has had the opportunity at Antioch to reflect on our practice, and let's continue to do that. I'm sure that Cynthia, Richard, or Fred would be happy to receive a most significant change paper from you at any point when you feel like writing one. Again. We've all been on this journey together, and now it's time for us to truly join our theory with our actions and go forth, carrying with us the knowledge that we are not alone. Thank you so, so much to the Education Department at AULA, who nurtured our transformations during this brief period in our lifelong journey. And thank you to all of our blood relatives and chosen family who have supported us as we lived the student life. I'd like to end by borrowing from a modern-day abolitionist and founder of the Coalition to End Sheriff Violence in LA jails. You might not know her yet, but you will. Her name is Patrisse Cullors-Brignac. She says that when people say things like, well, if we had a better system of education or better this, She thinks less about putting out what the structure would look like and more what the spirit would look like if there was real love in our work here together. She asks people to reflect on their freedom dreams, to envision them, and to reach for them. So I ask you all to think, what are your freedom dreams? In solidarity, class of 2013, go forth. Congratulations.